Look at your life right now. Do not look away. You are exhausted. Still, you achieved absolutely nothing of substance today. You sit in the quiet of your room staring at a glowing screen. You are desperately telling yourself that you just need a break. You feel it, don't you? A quiet and heavy emptiness in the center of your chest. You know with absolute certainty that you are capable of so much more, but that soft, familiar comfort is acting as a powerful, silent anesthetic. You are not resting. You are slowly and voluntarily putting your own potential to sleep. You are choosing the warmth of the herd over the freezing, terrifying isolation of greatness. The modern world is designed to make you comfortable and weak. It feeds you endless cheap dopamine to keep you docile. It is time to wake up. It is time to strip away the illusions. Today, we are going to brutally dissect the 5 comfortable lies. These are the specific lies keeping you paralyzed and completely forgettable. They are the invisible chains binding you to a life of mediocrity. We will destroy them one by one. Lie number 1. I will start when I am ready. You continuously convince yourself that you need more preparation. You think you need more knowledge or more money. You believe you need perfectly aligned, frictionless circumstances before you can finally execute. This is the ultimate illusion of the modern mind. You are waiting for a magical neurochemical feeling of absolute certainty. The harsh, freezing reality is that the perfect moment does not exist. It never will. It is a manufactured ghost. It is a psychological defense mechanism designed by your primitive brain. Its only purpose is to keep you safely paralyzed in your comfort zone. Preparation is very often just cowardice wearing a business suit. You read endless books on philosophy. You watch thousands of hours of motivational tutorials. You create incredibly complex color-coded plans. You receive a cheap dopamine hit just by planning your future. You completely confuse this frantic motion with actual measurable progress. You feel highly productive, but in the cold light of reality, you have built absolutely nothing. The world does not care about your perfectly drawn blueprints. The brutal marketplace of existence rewards only cold, undeniable execution. It does not reward the endless safe accumulation of theoretical potential. The cold architect moves long before the blueprint is even finished. Action forces you to adapt to the chaos. Waiting only makes you soft. Stop hiding behind the lie of preparation. Step into the arena. True clarity does not come from thinking in a safe room. True clarity only comes from the brutal friction of relentless action. You must build the airplane while you are falling from the cliff. Lie number 2. I am just a good and peaceful person. You never say no to anyone. You swallow your legitimate anger. You suppress your natural aggression just to keep the artificial peace in the room. You deeply believe that you are displaying high moral kindness. You think you are a virtuous soul. But Carl Jung warned us about this specific deception. You are not projecting morality. You are projecting pure cowardice. You are absolutely terrified of conflict. You are terrified of confrontation. You are terrified of isolation and not being liked. So you voluntarily surrender your personal boundaries to whoever asks for them. This is not nobility. This is submission. The world does not respect a person who cannot fiercely defend their own territory. When you are nice and agreeable to absolutely everyone, your kindness rapidly loses all its intrinsic value. It is no longer seen as a rare gift. It becomes a mandatory expectation. You transform into a human doormat disguised as a saint. It is a pathetic, weak survival strategy. It guarantees you will be entirely consumed by those with stronger, darker wills. True respectable kindness is a deliberate choice. It is a choice made only by those who have the actual capacity to be highly dangerous. If you're entirely incapable of cruelty, you are not a peaceful person. You are simply harmless. And in the unforgiving hierarchy of the real world, the harmless are always treated as prey. If you have not integrated your shadow, you are living a lie. Stop playing the role of the nice guy. Trade your fake, appeasing smiles for heavy, cold iron boundaries. A gate that stays locked is fundamentally more powerful than a door left wide open. Lie number 3. It is not my fault. You masterfully blame the failing economy. You blame your toxic boss. You blame your difficult childhood and the general overarching unfairness of society. You have meticulously constructed a flawless, impenetrable narrative. In this narrative, you are the innocent victim of chaotic external circumstances. Out of all the lies you tell yourself, this one is the most comforting. It is the most widely accepted by the herd. And undoubtedly, it is the most lethal to your personal power. It destroys your agency from the inside out. The exact moment you point a finger outward, you surrender. The moment you assign blame to the world, you instantly surrender your sovereign power to change the situation. If your current failure is completely their fault, then your future success strictly requires their permission. Being a victim feels psychologically safe because it requires zero effort. By playing the victim, you are actively taking the remote control of your own destiny. You are placing it directly into the unpredictable hands of a world that does not care if you survive or perish. It genuinely does not matter if the original trauma was not your fault. The world is tragically unfair. But the healing, the rebuilding, and the aggressive recovery are your absolute non-negotiable responsibility. The cold architect never wastes his breath complaining about the destructive rain. He simply remains silent and builds a vastly stronger roof. You must voluntarily throw away your comforting victim card forever. You must step into the freezing winds of extreme accountability. If your life is miserable, you must own it. If you are broke, you must own it. Only when you accept brutal responsibility for the smoking ruins of your life do you acquire the sovereign authority to build an empire in their place. Lie number 4. I need them to understand my vision. You waste massive, unrecoverable amounts of mental energy arguing in comment sections. You write incredibly long, emotionally charged text messages. You desperately try to explain your grand ambitions to profoundly small minds. You are acting like a beggar. You are desperately pleading for cognitive validation and emotional approval from the very herd you claim you want to escape. Schopenhauer observed that the more a man has in himself, the less he will want from other people. Seeking to be deeply understood is merely a disguised form of seeking permission to exist. When you try so hard to convince them of your path, you are validating their imaginary right to judge you. The cold truth is that people can only ever understand you from their own limited level of perception. You are exhausting your vital life force trying to explain the terrifying depth of an ocean to a shallow puddle. Your overwhelming desire to explain yourself is leaking your power every single day. Absolute silence is terrifying to the weak, but it is the native commanding language of the strong. Stop handing out detailed maps of your inner workings of your mind. Let the masses be thoroughly confused by your sudden actions. Let them be deeply intimidated by your heavy silence. Mystery is an impenetrable shield. Explanation is a fatal vulnerability. Do what you must do with cold surgical precision. Let the undeniable concrete results speak entirely on your behalf. Stay invisible until you strike. Lie number 5. I have plenty of time. You navigate through your days acting as if you possess a guaranteed ironclad contract for 1,000 years of life. You scroll through mindless algorithmic content for hours. You sleep in. You constantly and comfortably delay your greatest ambitions. You falsely believe that tomorrow is an endless, magically renewable resource. You're living in a highly dangerous fantasy. Seneca said that we are not given a short life, but we make it short. Time is the ultimate apex predator of the universe, and it is quietly hunting you right now. In this very second, you can eventually earn back lost wealth. You can potentially rebuild shattered health, but a casually wasted hour is permanently burned into the dark void. It is gone forever. Your relaxed, casual relationship with the passage of time is the absolute core root of your current mediocrity. You are freely spending the strictly limited currency of your mortal life building other people's corporate empires. You do this entirely because you fundamentally undervalue your own existence. Every single day, you intentionally delay your mission. You are committing a slow, invisible suicide. The glass of your hourglass is shattering, the sand is running out, and no one is coming to flip it back over for you. You must immediately inject a sense of lethal freezing urgency into your veins. Operate every single day as if a sniper is watching your every move. You must violently kill the illusion of infinite time before time quietly kills you. These 5 comfortable lies are the heavy, invisible iron chains. They are keeping you permanently bound to a forgettable life. They are a warm simulation designed to protect your fragile ego from the freezing reality of the world. But you must understand this one absolute truth. True greatness, unshakable power, and absolute sovereignty only ever grow in the freezing cold. Comfort is the enemy of the architect. Stripping away these lies will be agonizing. You will realize with terror just how much of your past was built entirely on cowardice. Let it hurt. Let the weak version of yourself burn to ash in the fire of reality. Once these lies are dead, you become a perfectly calibrated, unstoppable machine. You take absolute ownership of the ruins. You build your empire in absolute silence. Welcome to Zenith Construct. We do not swallow the weak lies of the herd. If you are finally ready to destroy your illusions and master the brutal mechanics of reality, subscribe now. Stop hiding in the warmth. Keep building in the dark.